James and Wilmore, you guys are going to give them a pass for going on the ice today, but they wanted to go on. What does that say to you?
Yeah, it says a lot. Like you said, they were given the option, and came down and told them, and they were like, "No, we want to go on." Obviously, had a really tough few days with travel and limited sleep getting to the hotel. I think at 4:00 last night, and they came in this morning, did all the off ice testing, and wanted to get on the ice, wanted to get right into the group. So it's a promising, good sign.
What were your first impressions of James?
Well, I saw him a lot last year. Obviously, it's been well documented that we've had lots of guys at BC and even more going forward here. But so no real surprises. I think the biggest thing, like I said, the biggest takeaway was that he didn't seem to miss a beat after going through a busy couple days. And yeah, you can obviously tell how smooth he is out there and confident with the puck, and looking forward to getting to know him more as a person. Seems like he's excited to be out there. When he came down to one end and got to shoot in a goal, he was like, "All right, here we go!" Like, driven to score some goals, and yeah, so it's a great first day and a great first impression as far as both on and off the ice.
You've seen Dean a lot, obviously. Where has he made his most progress from this point last year to where he is now?
He's definitely got much stronger. You can even tell just by me seeing him. I saw him last week. He spent most of June here, so he was committed to coming here and doing a couple weeks at BC and then a couple weeks here training. So he's been here for the whole month, and physically he's gotten stronger. That's probably a big part of it. Yeah, obviously he's a very big young man, so continuing to just grow into his frame, get used to his size and using his size, and all things that we talked about last year. But I think he's really starting to buy into that, and super driven. Him and our focus is continuing moving forward in the future, and we're excited for him. I know, like I said, he's confident. He wants to make an impact next year, and just come in and show the work that he's put in.
How big of a wake-up call do you think it was for him taking that step up from prep school in Canada to NCAA?
It's a massive jump, and going to the program that he went to, where they were the top-ranked team in the nation, and you're always having talent coming and going from there, and so I think it was. I mean, it was a step, but I think it was a good opportunity for him to be around those guys and practice and have that level of the level of battle that's there, fighting for your ice time, and so it was a year of growth for sure.
Was it an opportunity for you guys to learn something about how he handled something like that, and what did you think?
He honestly handled it really well. There were days of disappointment where he felt like he could and wanted to impact more, and he's still very. We were obviously preaching smaller details and continuing to protect pucks and be strong and physical, and he started getting a little bit of time in the PK and got better, much better with his stick, just little details, and he took all that in stride, but yet still was like, I still want to do more. I still want to impact more. I believe I can do more. So those are all positive things. And at the end of the year, he was like, I'm going back to BC. I'm going to compete for a spot. Don't want it, nothing's going to be given to you. He knows that, and it says a lot about him. So learned a lot about his character and adversity at a young age. A lot of these guys haven't seen it. So for him to go through it now, there's always going to be there's always going to be critics and adversity faced, and for him being here in Boston probably magnifies it a little bit, but he's handled it really well.
Is it kind of a balance of you want him keeping the confidence, but at the same time having to make him hungry?
Can you say that again?
Is it kind of a balance of you want him to still be confident, but at the same time be hungry based on wanting to do more than he did?
Yeah, it's certainly recognizing the areas that you need to improve in, and areas that the coaches want to see improve, and that'll give him more opportunities. So there's that piece of it. It's not, it's taking ownership of your own game and the things that you need to do. While not, but the other side is like not losing confidence, not still believing and seeing yourself in elevated roles and striving for that. So there is the balance for sure.
Adam, just how quick these couple of days are. What are you really looking for? How does one stand out?
It's difficult. Like we did off ice testing today. The guys, most of them got in yesterday. They got new gear. There's a lot of new things thrown at them. So we're just starting to get to know them as people. And so, for the most part, we're pretty familiar with everybody. Obviously, some of the new draft picks you don't know as well. I think there's two things. You're obviously looking for what they're doing on the ice, how they move, little elements of maybe how they shoot a puck, or as a D-man, their length, how they're able to take away time and space, things like that. But then the big part of it is having the conversations. How open are they to not taking criticism, but taking constructive feedback and wanting to make changes and work on things. So those are probably, again, there's the on-ice part and there's the off-ice part. But the big thing that we preach to them is, coming in and being willing to get outside your comfort zone. It's okay to fail at certain things. Like we're introducing some of them to new things, and it's okay to not be perfect at things. Where a lot of them are, they wouldn't be at this level if they have some level of perfectionism in them, where they want to do things right, and that's a good thing. But at the same time, like I said, we're not expecting anybody to be perfect in July, and we want guys to work on things that aren't easy for them. So.
From your experience, what you've gathered over the years with the nerves, maybe even heightened over this, as opposed to when you actually make the jump?
Every time the guys roll in the first day and they're sitting waiting to do the testing, I can vividly remember it for myself. Like it is nerve-wracking. It's natural to be that way, especially like a young guy coming in. I think, in talking to some of the guys, that it's their second time around. They're like, just knowing a few people, knowing what to expect, like just the difference. There's still some nervous energy around getting the testing over with and getting your first day on the ice under you. But I think as we go along, I think we'll see guys relax a little more. And that was a bit of the message at the end of each skate, was like, we recognize that, again, that you've done off-ice testing. It's your first time on the ice. Some of you have been through a lot the last few days. New gear, even just having new gloves, can make a difference, So, yeah, it's a lot for some of these guys, and that's natural.
Adam, you guys now have quite a few players going to Boston College next year, and I know you don't really get to choose where they go, but is there anything about BC's program, their coaching staff, the way they run things that you like and that you think is beneficial to have some of you guys playing for them?
Yeah, it's kind of, I wouldn't say been by design. It's kind of just the way it's unfolded. But they've had a great program there. The coaching staff does a great job, and they've done a good job of getting guys NHL ready. So it's not that we necessarily need guys to be in our backyard, but it's certainly, again, it doesn't hurt being able to have them close by and being able to see them easily. Just cuts down on travel a little bit, I guess. But yeah.
What have you learned about Will Zellers since you guys acquired him in March?
Well, right off the hop, the first time I talked to him in person, I was like, if I spent a ton of time with this kid somewhere else, it's super easy to talk to, and you feel like you've known him. So he's easy that way. You can tell right away that he's just fitting right into the group. And just his on ice his natural instinct for scoring. Like, he doesn't need many opportunities, and he capitalizes on them. And I think he's driven that way. I've seen some competitive little edge to him where, he has a little fire to him. Continuing to grow and fill out physically will be really important. But he's a player that, like, obviously our scouts identified, and we're excited to add to our group, and we're really excited to have him.
It's not a knock on previous camps or previous players, but between Zellers, between Hagen, some other guys you brought in, do you feel like this is the most skillful camp that you guys have had in a long time in terms of maybe natural scoring talent and levels and whatnot?
Like you said, not to knock other years, but yeah, for sure. I mean, it's definitely a younger group, and the younger players seem to be more skilled at a younger age now, and but yeah, it's a skilled group, and it's exciting that way to have guys that have some of this natural ability.
When the coaches were being interviewed, there's a lot of feedback on development and where you're at. How do you feel about your group and some changes that you are willing to make this offseason to kind of combat that feedback that's been given?
What feedback, and if you can elaborate on that?
So the coaches that went through the interviewing process brought on like things that need to be better. I'm trying to ask what your group wants to do better and moving forward. There's so many faces that are coming into the organization this year and the next couple of years.
Yeah, well, it's obviously an important time and an exciting time development-wise. Having some of these younger players, higher picks, but also for them, like, the opportunities that are available, right now with the roster and moving forward, and maybe it hasn't always been as clear of a picture for some younger guys of where they might fit. I think there's tons of opportunity now, so just continuing to support them and probably put together a good plan of what they need. Following up with them. I mean, we follow up with guys regularly, but just being detailed and what the path is, where they're going to school, what we envision for them. But yeah, not a whole lot changes, I don't think. But we do want to be very diligent in making sure that guys have the resources that they need wherever they're at, and if they don't, that we find ways to help them have those things. But nowadays, especially at the college level, we have a lot of guys at college, they have amazing resources. So
just because you had eyeballs on that Bucker in the playoffs, so what do you take away from his performance here in terms of preparing himself for September and kind of really getting into it?
yeah, well, obviously Matty, production-wise, he had a really good season, and I think he's realizing and understanding more. He's still super young. That's the thing, right? And when you're a young guy and you start out here, sometimes you feel like it's a step back, and that's not the case with him at all. Continuing to round out his game and be put in situations where, some offensive situations that he may not necessarily get at this level right now, just to continue to build and round out his game, and seeing him play in the playoffs and seeing him take some runs at guys and just being strong on pucks, and part of that is just the physical maturation. He's grown, he's filling out, and he knows what to expect now. So it was a good season for him, and I know he's a super driven kid, and he's putting in the work this summer. So again, it's an exciting time for guys like him to come to camp and earn a spot.
Who are some of the people that you guys have on the ice meeting this week, coaching staff-wise and whatnot, besides yourself and Jamie?
So we have the Providence staff, a couple of guest coaches that we brought in. Kathy McElwain is a skating coach that we brought in from the Ontario area, just to supplement and help out in that area. Taylor Winskowski, I hope I'm saying that right. Played here for the Pride and the Fleet, I believe. And now coaching at Princeton, so she's coming in as a guest coach, as well as Ben Smith. Ben just wrapped up his playing career finished in Germany. Has a ton of experience at various levels, high character, tons of leadership, and thought it'd be a good opportunity to have him here. And he's looking at what next opportunities. He did do a little bit of coaching. He had an injury at the end of the year, so he did a little bit of coaching to finish out in Germany. So just an opportunity to bring in a quality person and someone who worked hard to get what he got out of his career, and someone just good for the younger guys to be around.
Oscar Yelpik's absence, is that healthy lately?
Yeah, Oscar had shoulder surgery the end of January, early February, something around there. I should know exactly, but it's somewhere around that time frame. And he's tracking fine. He just wouldn't have been able to take part on the ice, and he's been to enough camps at this point. So it was just a conversation that we had with him, and he felt like it might be best just to continue his not to disrupt his rehab process over there. It's a long flight for those guys, so that was where what went into the decision. I think he's a super. I mean, I'm getting to know, obviously, a short period of time to continue to get to know him, but he seems like a really bright kid that kind of thinks outside the box. I don't know, and you can see that that's kind of in the way he plays, where he's thinking his way around the ice a bit, and but yeah, I'll have a little more intel for you as we move forward. Yeah.